or are you upset he didn't
see,
speak about he didn't give you
my thing is this.
this?
I'm sorry. My thing was I asked him not to lie to me. And the fact that he already was caught for this. I mean, the paperwork was already drawn up. It stated in the paperwork that his ex-wife came to that jail 30 different times when they had protection orders against each other where they weren't supposed to see each other. So it was already documented. There's no more trouble he can already get into because, like I said, they had already caught them. He had no reason to lie to me about that.
All right. I think what happened, I'm going to tell you what I think happened. What I think happened was, and I'm not making an excuse. I mean, you know what the two of you discussed. I don't know.
We didn't discuss anything. I just asked him not to lie to me about anything, and he flat out lied. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is, before when you're charged, right? He spent time in the county. So this is my understanding. When he was charged, it wasn't that he was he wasn't arrested yet and sent out of county, which meant that the orders weren't in place yet because he hadn't gone to trial. And that's how she was able to go in and see him 30 times.
I'm not understanding because this was after they had already arrested both of them for violating that order. This is when he was in jail for putting his hands on the children. So I don't know how he didn't already have that order.
I don't know. I have to look into that.
You know I already did. That's exactly what I'm telling you. He was in prison for putting his hands on them children. Right. And that order was already stated for him and her. That's why she got in trouble and was using his sister's name to go see him.
Okay.
Well, damn.
We're talking about what I think we're talking about, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I see.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, so I don't want to say anything.
I'm not trying to start anything. That's what I called him out for lying about that, because at the end of the day, he really had no reason to lie about it. I mean, it was already out there. It was in paperwork. He had already gotten in trouble for it. It was no reason to lie about it, but he did.
It was before the sentencing. My understanding of that, it was before the sentencing, which is why there was no order in place, because had there been an order in place, she wouldn't have been able to see him. She wasn't able to see him.
He was already in prison. He was already in prison serving time.
No, but you got to understand, people spend time in prison and are not sentenced.
He was already sentenced. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying he was already sentenced. That's why she was using his sister name, because she knew she wasn't supposed to be seeing him. That's why she used his sister name.
May I ask a clarifying question? And again, this is, I guess, not where the live is supposed to be. Please let me know or shut it down. However,
you good.
When this occurred, was this at the jail or at the prison? The prison. Okay, so why was she trying so hard to bring the babies to him when she wasn't supposed to on her end? Was there ever an answer given?
No. They never asked her that. They was coddling her.
I mean,
at 2018, she literally switched her profile picture to him and her in 2018. After she was told not to see him, she ran around here telling people she doesn't want to be with him, but you switch your Facebook profile picture to you and him in 2018. After all this happened.
I'm just very.
And that's why he's not divorced. Yeah. And that's why he's not divorced now.
I'm very confused. Like, I'm not about, okay, so I'm not going to take onus away from people who've done whatever. And there's no but to this, a caveat to this. I honestly don't understand.
Right.
Being a person who's putting, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Rosemary brings up a good point. Anytime you go into prison, you still have to show ID. So she
I don't
had
know
to
what
show
they
ID.
did, but she got away. I mean, away with it 30 different times because I have that paperwork where it stated in the transcript that she went up there and used his sister name to see him. I don't know what the protocols was, but she got caught and he got caught because he damn sure didn't say nothing when she was coming up there. The one of the COs caught them.
Can I ask a question? Now, what wasn't there like an order for him not to be able to see the kids anyway? So how was that?
And she brought them kids up there to see him, took pictures and all.
So,
I said, he ain't have no problem with her coming up there.
How was that? But how? I guess my next follow-up question is, if that is true, how were they able to get away with that if he wasn't allowed to be around the kids?
You asking the wrong brother. I can only go by what the paperwork says. I wish I knew because that's insanity.
But see, there's something wrong with this story. Something does not fit. Because if they knew she went up there 30 times, how did they allow it?
That's what I'm confused of.
Me too. And you have to show ID when you go. You have to show ID.
But let's be real, though. We're talking about a prison where, COs are easily played off. Who knows? It could have been a million things. But
30
it happened.
30 times?
Yep, it happened. I mean, honestly, and I'm just going to be 600 with you. I believe paperwork before I believe either one of them two. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel.
Fair. That's fair.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm gonna put it like this. At this point in time, look, I'm for a good redemption story, but I always center to people in it who've been wronged, and I'm curious about what the persons who are the victims have to say. But I'm not interested in being in their business and in their lives because they may be moving the way that they're moving. Right? I'm just taking a little off kilter. Like from what I've heard with this already. Speaking of being triggered, so that's why I'm kind of like I'm a slide